If you have that mindset that no matter if you're going through hard times, bad times, or you just life's a mess, God will overcompensate you. God will turn it all around, or he will turn your mess into a message to serve other people. Welcome to the Obsessed or Not Interested podcast. I am your host, Mindy Wender-Querio, and I'm a small town go-to girl next door who is obsessed with helping others see more for themselves so they can thrive in all areas of life. I love researching all the things like wellness, mindset, relationships, you name it. If I'm obsessed with it, I get hyper-focused on it and I research the crap out of it, and then I share it with you. If those are things that you're also obsessed with, then keep listening and let's become new best friends. Hi, guys. Welcome to another episode of the Obsessed or Not Interested podcast. Again, I'm your host, Mindy Wender-Querio, and it's a solo episode day. Today, the topic is lucky girl mindset, lucky girl mentality. And we are just going to get right into this topic because this is so huge for attracting the things you want and just operating on a daily basis with gratitude and with noticing all the good that's happening around you. If you're purposely looking for the negative, that's all you're going to see. If you're purposely looking for how life is not good for you or not going well for you, if you're purposely looking for how life is not going well for you, that's what you will see. So, and we're going to get into all of that. So this is going to be a mini, kind of like not a mini episode. This is going to be a shorter episode today, but such an important topic. So first thing that I want to talk to you about is gratitude. So something that I start out with every single day to live with this lucky girl mindset every single day. I start out every single day with a morning routine, and in that routine is gratitude. So every single morning, like before I start my day, before my kids get up, there's a couple things in my morning routine, like affirmations. I rewrite my top 3 hyper-focused goals and my to-do list and all those things. But one of those things is gratitude, because I want to start off with what am I grateful for? What can I thank God for today? So then my heart posture is changed in that direction for the day. My awareness is going to be looking for the good more than the bad. You know what I mean? When you just wake up and you're snoozing your alarm and you're crabby that you have to get up and nothing's going right and you spill your coffee and whatever, and you didn't do your morning routine and start off with gratitude, you're more likely going to be noticing how, oh, now I'm getting stuck at all the red lights and now this happened. That is not the mindset that we want to start our day with and that we want to have throughout the day. So when you start your day before all the mess can happen, right? This coffee can spill, the red lights can be, you could get stuck at the red lights. But if you're starting out with your day with gratitude and a morning routine and being in the right lucky girl mindset and all of those things, you're more likely to let those things go, not dwell on them, and also be noticing the good things that happen or be focused on a different type of mindset of why things are happening. And we'll get in that in a second. So every single day, and by the way, every single night, I like to start my day with gratitude and end my day with gratitude. So at the end of the day, I have a nightly routine and I like to write down in my journal. So I have like it in the daily journal. It has your daily pages where you're writing down affirmations, gratitude, your hyper-focused goals, your hyper-focused to-do list, your regular brain dump to-do list, your daily routine. There's an inspirational quote or Bible verse or whatever in every single page. But the next page, so you get these are both daily pages, is a page that says thoughts/ideas. So I save a portion of the bottom of my blank page. And the reason why I'm explaining this, by the way, is because you don't have to use this journal. And I want to break it down like what I'm talking to you about. So then you can do it in a notebook. Or if you do want to use this, I just created this journal for myself because I thought maybe other people would benefit from it as well. Because I was just sick of rewriting the same routine every single day. I'm like, it would be really nice to just have this done for me and where I don't even have to think about it. Kind of like my workouts. I just push play and I use Beachbody On Demand or Body, and a trainer comes on and tells me what to do, and I can listen to a podcast or I could listen to music and I don't have to think about it, right? Because I don't have to count my reps. They're doing it for me on the TV. Same thing with this journal. same mindset. I don't have to think about what's next, what I have to do first. It's just all written out for me and it's habit. Okay, so the second page says thoughts and ideas. And what I like to do on this page is like leave the bottom, I don't know, quarter there, like a quarter of the page, leave it blank at the bottom and I write nightly routine. And then I like to just write 3 things that happened that were amazing that day. And if the day was really bad, because hello, this happens, like we all have bad days, right? But then what can I learn from those things? And I like to write those down because you'll be shocked when you're like, oh, this was a really bad day. This happened. And you might want to write these things down like this happened today, but I know that God's hands is in this and he will turn it around and he will overcompensate, or there's a reason why this happened, or here's the lesson I learned from this. Okay? So if, like, for example, your friend betrayed you, but what is a lesson you can learn from that? Maybe don't get too close to somebody I just met and trust them with all this information, because maybe that new friend went and told something that was private to somebody else and that's how you were betrayed. What is the lesson in that? Maybe we aren't going to share so much private information so quickly with our new friends or something like that. This is just an example, definitely not something that happened to me, but I'm just using that as an example. So I like to do that every single night. So I'm writing down I'm ending my day with gratitude as well. What good happened today? What were the lessons from today? And then I'll even write down, like, what are you grateful for? What were you most grateful for? Like, what was the best part of your day? It could be like when Lily ran off the bus and gave me a hug. That was like, what a great time that was. Or when I saw Lane play his first high school baseball game, which is tomorrow, that would be something that I would write down as like the best part of my day. Okay, so that's how we're going to end our day and start our day with gratitude. The next thing I want to talk to you about is focusing on the little things. Okay, so I like to think of these as like God giving you like a little wink, like, hey, I see you. I'm here. Just so you know, I have a hand in all your situations and I'm here. So it's almost like he just gives you reminders throughout the day or throughout your life. Just little winks, just like a little reminder. So here's the thing though. Most people, but you're not most people. You are not majority. You are the 3%ers or the 1%ers. Most people don't focus on these things. Most people are so focused and busy or staring at their phones or focused on the negative that they are too busy and too blind to see God's winks. And so that's not going to be you. And even if and we, by the way, we have our days, right? We have our days, but now what you can do is starting today. And you can also, I like to write in my journal page that I was just telling you guys about. Every single day I have these journal pages, and I like to set an intention for the day. So you could always say, what is my intention today? Or who am I going to show up as today? Or I, or you could write it as like an affirmation. I am going to focus on God's winks today. I am going to be watching for little signs and little winks and just like God's hand in every little situation throughout the day. And so it's kind of like a scavenger hunt, like if you were on a scavenger hunt outside but you didn't know you were on a scavenger hunt, you wouldn't be looking for all the little things that are hidden. You wouldn't be searching. You'd be oblivious. You'd be walking by the grand prize in the scavenger hunt and you wouldn't even know because you're not aware. But when your awareness, if you're telling yourself, I am going to be aware and focusing on God's winks today and looking for them like a little scavenger hunt, like a little fun game every single day, you will actually notice them more often. Okay. So that's the next thing we're going to do. We're going to start off with gratitude and then we're going to be focusing on God's winks. The next thing is when you start to notice these things, you will literally attract more of them. So this is like, a lot of people call this the laws of attraction. To me, it's always made sense for me. And I just was talking to my husband about this. I'm like, I like literally attracted this. I attracted this. I attracted this. And I've thought about this my whole life. Like I'm such a good manifester. And I as a Christian, I don't love those words, but who cares what the word is? What I'm saying is there is some scientific proof and it's physics that what you put out comes back. It's just like I don't know if my brain just works that way. So it's always made sense to me and it's always worked out in my favor. But truly, it's true. It's the laws of attraction. The more you put out or whatever you put out, the more of that you will get back. So when we are starting our day with gratitude and we're have a grateful heart and our heart posture is that, and our intentions for the day is to be looking for God's wings, and we're noticing more of these little things, guess what? We're going to start attracting more of them. Okay. So you don't even have to like really write that part down, because if you do number two of the things I'm talking about, number three is going to just fall into place and just happen. And you're going to be like coming on my Instagram, commenting on my posts, or writing me a DM saying, Mindy, you were right. You were so right, because I started focusing on that. And then tenfold the next week, did I have 10 times as many things. And you could even take your journal and like every single night you could write down, what are some winks that I noticed today? What were some little things? And you know what a lot of people do, and I'm guilty of this too, we'll be like, oh my gosh, it's crazy. What a coincidence that that happened. Holy crap. And you're like shocked, but you're just like, weird. That was a coincidence. That's God. That's a God thing. He's winking at you. At the light. Okay, so here's the next thing. Number four is the point number four. It's not like these go in any order, but point number four that I want to make is life is happening for you, not to you. When you set out every single day with this mindset and this belief, you will be paying more attention to all the little things. And when you start to believe, and I'm going to give you some examples in just one second, when you start to believe that life is literally happening for you and it's not against you, and not everyone's against you, and you start to have that mindset, your mindset flips a switch, and you start to notice that, yeah, this happened for a reason. And maybe this X, Y, and Z didn't work out, but there was a reason why that didn't work out. Like, let's say in a relationship, here's some just examples. Okay. A relationship didn't work out and you're devastated and you're like, how can I ever move on? But that relationship ended because God didn't want you to waste any more time on this relationship because it wasn't the one. That maybe something horrible was going to happen down the line. Like, for example, maybe that person was going to cheat on you. So God was like, I'm going to save her from this and I'm going to end this relationship sooner. And even though it hurts at the time, you can get through it, pray through it. But then what that could do is, because that relationship ends, new doors open, new opportunities open. You're not closed off to maybe Mr. Right, like the one. Another example is like I'm like a traveler, right? I fly a lot and I travel a lot. So we could always be like, if we have like a canceled flight, or they rerouted your flight to this place or whatever, and you go someplace different, I'm always like, there's a reason for that. There was a reason for that. And I usually notice it. I can't think of off the top of my head. I'm like, oh, see, if we wouldn't have got her, I point it out to my kids all the time and to my husband. I'm like, see, this happened for a reason. If this wouldn't have happened, then we wouldn't have been able to do X, Y, and Z, or we wouldn't have run into this person, or we wouldn't have met that person, whatever it is. And I try to find those things and point it out to people, because I want my brain to continually be focused on that. I want my kids to focus on that. I just want everyone around me to be paying attention to these things, right? So, or maybe you missed your flight or whatever happened, and you had to go to a different flight. Instead of going to Orlando, you got rerouted to Atlanta first or whatever, and maybe you meet the love of your life on that flight. Like, that is the type of mindset you have to have. And it's really like, why stress over things you can't control? At the end of the day, if your flight got whatever, or relationship ended or whatever, it sucks. But why dwell on it, the negative, and focus on the bad, and put all your energy into that and stress over something you cannot change, right? Okay. There's also something called the reticular activating system. I talk about this a lot. It's in the back of your head, right above your neck. Anyway, what this does is it actually filters in. It's a part of the brain that filters in the things that you're whatever you're focused on, it brings more of that into your awareness. And the things you're not paying attention to and not focused on, it filters those things out of your awareness. So that's another thing that actually makes sense to me about the laws of attraction, or starting your day with gratitude, or doing affirmations. Like, Christians who are like bashing affirmations, it's mind blowing to me. It's like, I don't understand. Like, do they not have, I don't get it. Because really what you're doing is, it's so easy with social media Okay, I'm going to get on my soapbox now. So I want to keep this short. So let me just tell you, it's very easy on social media and being surrounded with like whatever, certain people, or maybe you just are feeling down about yourself because you haven't been working on your self-worth, whatever, or maybe there was like a recent event in your life that really made you question your confidence, like it just made you insecure, or you failed at something, now you're down on yourself. I mean, we are humans. Of course, we're going to experience these things. So after you do, well, in my morning routine, I'm like reading my Bible, I'm praying, I'm doing these things. And then I'm writing my affirmations, reminding myself of who God created me to be. Like, God gave you so many gifts, girl, that like, this is my pep talk to myself and to you. Well, in case there's dudes too. God has given us so many gifts. Like, why are we not using them? Really, ask yourself that. So, why aren't we using them, number one? And why is it bad to remind ourselves about how God created us to be these amazing human beings? Like, I am generous. I have courage. I am determined. I am driven. Like all these things. And it gets you fired up. You know what I mean? So I believe that you should do affirmations every single day. It helps you build your confidence. It helps you it's a reminder of who God created you to be. Gratitude. So doing those affirmations, it's starting your day. And then you're going to be more aware with the RAS, reticular activating system. When you're writing down your affirmations, you're actually putting those beliefs into your subconscious mind, number one, to make them an actual belief where you're just like, I believe this of myself. And then number two, you're going to be more, the RAS will filter in more of those things because that's what you're focused on. You're not focused on saying things like, well, I'm fat, I'm a failure, I can't do this, I suck at this. If you're saying those things and not actually doing affirmations, the RAS is just going to filter more of those things in, because that's what you're saying, speaking. Literally, we're speaking these things into existence and it's working against us. So your thoughts, your words, all of those things matter. Okay? Your thoughts and words will eventually become your reality, whether you like it or not. And Lucky Girl Mindset episode is explaining exactly how and why, and how to not allow that to happen. Okay? We have to watch our thoughts. We have to watch our what our words are coming out of our mouth, and we need to replace those things with positive thoughts and positive words. So negative thoughts are going to creep up. That's fine. We're human. You need to shut that voice up, go back to your journal every single day. At the top of the page, the first thing it says, today's affirmations, and it's I am, and you fill those in. I have the I ams actually written out for you. So you just have to fill in the word. I am beautiful. I am driven. I am determined. I am a successful entrepreneur. Whatever it is, I am an amazing public speaker. I am a successful podcast host. Whatever those things are, write those things down. You're writing them every single day. And then when those negative thoughts come up, you can just look back to your statements of the day and remind yourself, this is who God created me to be. This is where my life is going. This is my beliefs within myself. I'm not letting any trolls on Instagram or anybody else drag me down. Okay. The next thing is, so that's the RAS. The next thing I want to talk to you about is every missed opportunity could be exactly the way it should have worked out. For example, like the flights, you could meet the love of your life. So just think of anything, any failure, anything that doesn't work out that you really wanted. Like, for example, let's just say, I remember when I was looking for a new home. So we were blending our family together. And this is just an example of this entire episode. So we were blending our families together. And now I went from having a home with me and my 3 kids to now having a home with me, Joey, and 5 kids. We're blending them all together in our house. So the basement area, there wasn't enough bedrooms. So we had to like makeshift a bedroom, a bunk room for Mason and Lennon and whatever. And then Lane's room didn't have a door on it yet because we kind of like made makeshift that. So anyways, it was working until it wasn't working.
If you are somebody that is very confident, you don't have insecurities, you don't struggle with self-worth, then I would just like skip through this ad But if you do struggle, keep listening. I'll keep it short and sweet, I promise. So if you are somebody who struggles with your self-worth, lacks confidence, doesn't see yourself the way other people see you, and maybe have self-limiting beliefs, and maybe fear has held you back, or you feel stuck. You have that dream, you have that idea that you want to do, but you just never do it because you feel stuck. If that is you, keep listening, because I created the foundation course. I called this the foundation course because that's what it is. It is the foundation that you need to thrive in all areas of your life. And that is my life purpose, to mentor women. And this is what I've been doing for the last 15 years, is mentoring women, helping them believe in themselves and build that confidence and give them all the tools that they need, the foundation that they need to thrive in all areas of their life. In this course, we go over mindset, goal setting, how to build your confidence, how to find your purpose. We will go over self-worth, having an abundance mindset instead of a scarcity mindset. We go over it all across 9 modules, over 28 lessons, and I'm always adding bonus lessons into that foundation course, and you get lifetime access to it. So if that is something that you're interested in, head over to mindywender.com, because we are having a sale on the foundation course right now. It's usually priced at $249, and right now you can grab the course and have lifetime access to it for $199. So just head over to mindywender.com to take advantage of this sale.
So we started to actually go look at houses and Google things, and we got a quote to remodel the basement to make some rooms. And it was just stressing me out so much because this house was freaking my house that burnt down. So if you don't know, we had a house fire, but I'll get to that. Our house was beautifully built. I didn't want to wreck it. Do you know what I mean? And then it ended up getting wrecked. But I didn't want to like invest all this money. It was going to be so expensive. I didn't want to invest all this money just to what? To like completely gut the basement and change. I mean, I know people do this all the time. So I was willing to do that. But before I invested the money in the remodeling, because that was going to be like a huge thing that we were taking on, and like construction in these rooms, and where would people be sleeping during that time and whatever, we decided to look at other homes. And so I was very excited. This is a home, went up for sale on the market, literally the exact timing as we were wanting to remodel. And it actually didn't even get put on the market because the house that I owned was built by the same family as this house that I was my dream house. It was actually the house I wanted before I bought the house that I ended up buying. But it was built by the same family, and it had the same style and vibe. It was like this brick, beautiful home, right? And I got a call from that family saying, "Hey, this isn't even on the market yet. And I don't even know if you're looking, because obviously you have one on this house, which we know is beautiful. We built it, our family built it. But I just want to let you know before I put it on the market, it's for sale." And I said, and it was 2 doors down from the house that we live in, because it was like a parents, and then the son bought the property and built the house there. So anyway, I'm like, "Can we meet tomorrow? This is weird timing. This is a God thing." That's what I thought. So we went over there, and I outside is exactly what I always wanted, and I would drive by this house, mind you, you guys, before, like long before I could ever afford one of these houses. And I would be like, "That's my house. That's my dream house." I would think about that. So anyways, long story short, we go look at the house, and it was nice, but it was nothing what I wanted inside. I was like, "Oh my God, I would have to remodel so much of this house to make it what I like." And I love my house, the one I was living in. It just wasn't working with the blended family, and you get it. So we ended up, somebody else was looking at the house. Somebody else was going to make an offer, and it was like, felt very rushed, and I wasn't ready. And I just ended up saying, "I'm going to pass." And I was like, "Oh, I don't know if I should have done that. That was my dream house. Now I'm going to have to invest in remodeling." And we just put a pin in all of it. We kept looking a little bit. I think we might have looked at like one other house, maybe not. I don't know. I think we looked at, yeah, we did. Maybe a couple others actually, now that I think about it. And none of them would accommodate our huge family. 7 people, right? And I'm like, we're never going to find a house that will accommodate us. So I said, let's just put a pin in all of this and we'll revisit it after the holidays and whatever. And then that was on the back burner for, I don't know, maybe a half a year. We were just trying to decide, do we want to actually remodel? Do we want to build? Right now I'm spent, I'm over it, done with it. So we put a pin in it. And then, as you guys know, we ended up having a house fire on December 1st, 2022. And it was literally, isn't that so funny? Is that not funny? Isn't that so crazy that I said I didn't want to remodel because I didn't want to wreck this beautiful house? And then this is the mindset, right? Like the whole house went up in flames. It was a total loss. We lost the whole house and we lost everything. The contents of the house itself. It clarified a total loss. My kids, my two littles came out in underwear, no shoes. I mean, literally just the clothes on our backs is and you guys, if you heard the story already, you already know that. But in case you just stumbled upon my podcast and just hearing it, there's a whole episode on the house fire and all that and our perspective on it. So our perspective when we left was just like, God saved our lives. Like, oh my goodness, we could not believe it. And so our perspective was that, and we've been living in our 3-bedroom now. It's a 3-bedroom small cottage, 7 of us living in here. But here is the good. I don't believe God had there be a house fire and make us lose all our stuff. Obviously not. But what God does is he will overcompensate. He will turn your mess into a message to serve others, and he will turn your trials. He turns it all around if you believe, if you're willing to see, if you're willing to pay attention to what God has done already and will continue to do over your life. God will overcompensate you. And so that is exactly what he did. He was like, now look, this was a terrible situation. You're going to probably be traumatized from going through that experience and losing all your things. And then the insurance completely screwed us over, to put it bluntly. And they underinsured us we had it reevaluated recent before the house fire, just because they do that every whatever. And they still had underinsured us, and they know they did because anyways, long story short is all the mess, right? He's overcompensating us because now we were able to build in the same location on the lake that we live on, in the same location, build what we actually want. Build a house that will accommodate our huge blended family. And we love it. It definitely wouldn't be a route that I would have taken. I hate building houses. It's just a mess. I've had bad experiences. Let's just say that. And I'm just like, wow. So to find the good and find how God does these little winks and puts his hand in everything, and he will overcompensate you for all the things that you have to go through. Did he cause the fire? No, absolutely not. But he has had his hand in our lives ever since then, overcompensating us to help us through this time and to give us the house of our dreams that will be perfect for our blended family. Okay. So if you have that mindset that no matter if you're going through hard times, bad times, or you just life's a mess, God will overcompensate you. God will turn it all around, or he will turn your mess into a message to serve other people. And that's a huge reason why I like to share things. I probably overshare on my podcast and overshare on my social media, but I truly believe God wants me to be a messenger to other people and show and share with you guys, my friends, my podcast family, and my social media family, share with you guys what he has done in our lives. So then you can somehow start to notice it in your life as well. Okay. So another example of this, and I'll go back to the house fire, is that 40 days, we wanted to do a 40-day detox, and we started talking about it like at the beginning of the year. I was like, I don't know. I want to do this. I want to do this. I didn't even know if it was a 40-day detox. I don't know if I was going to do 75 hard. I just wanted to do some sort of challenge for myself. So we ended up planning it for the fall. So my husband and I did this together. It was a 40-day detox, no drinking, no sugar, no gluten, no dairy. We're going to do, and things I added to my life was going into the sauna at least 3 times a week, starting my morning routine. I didn't even have the hyper focus journal at this time. making sure that because I had fallen off completely, get back on track with my morning routine, doing my affirmations, my gratitude, my goal setting, my to-do list, do that, and reading my Bible every single day. So I started that plan in the fall. And so I got really, I was only going to go in the sauna 3 days, but my morning routine was so attached to, like, connected to the sauna. I ended up going in the sauna every single day of the week, maybe not on Sundays, but usually every single day, because I almost felt like I couldn't do my morning routine unless I was in the sauna, because it was just like, it was like a trigger, like my journal's in there, my Bible's in there, everything. It was kind of like how you habit stack, put your journal on your coffee pot and you won't forget to do your morning routine, right? It's kind of how it was. So I set a goal for 3 days a week. I ended up doing it 7 days a week. So during that 40 days, I got so clear on where my life was going and what I wanted to create, what I wanted to do, just all these different amazing things. And God's hand was so in my life during that 40 days. I was praying every day. I was visualizing every day. During that 40 days, I decided I wanted to create this journal, the hyper focus journal, because I was rewriting that daily, doing my daily routine and having to rewrite it. I'm like, dude, I'm going to create a product. I'm going to create a journal so I can not only share my goal setting system and teach people how they can 10x their goals and completely transform their life and create their dream life, literally craft their dream life, but also I'm going to help them with routine and getting clear with God and getting closer with God and getting their reading in and developing habits, rituals, and routines. All successful people have those, right? And so during that time, I had multiple business ideas. I wanted to create a course where I taught people about mindset, the foundation course, as you know of it now. I wanted to teach people and have business mentoring packages to help people in business. Now I have those. I wanted to help people get healthy and help them with their wellness and just do more of that. I was already doing that, but I wanted to do more of that. I was able to do that and then create the hyper focus journal. So I had those things all written down. And on day 39, a time where I was so clear, so close to God, had all of these ideas, all my life was completely transforming. We have our house fire on day 39 of our 40-day detox. And I just am like, whoa, not that God, again, caused the fire, right? But what God did is put it on my heart to do a 40-day detox because he needed my head clear. He needed me to be so hyper focused on where my life was going. He needed me to be on my freaking game because I was going to have a huge life event that was going to turn me upside down, turn our lives upside down. And he needed me to be clear. He needed me to be focused. And he needed me to be on my game for my family. And so that's why when I walked out of that house on day 39 of my detox in the middle of the night, watching every single thing that we owned go up in flames, my heart was of gratitude. I had a lucky girl mindset. I did. And my kids did as well. Because the speed of the leader, the parents, you're a leader. The speed of the leader is the speed of the pack. And those kids in the back seat were watching me saying, thank you, God. Oh my gosh, thank you for saving my family. And just tears of joy and gratitude as there is a fire burning down everything I own in front of me. And they had that same lucky boy, lucky girl gratitude mindset. That's what I'm talking about right now. Those God winks. He's the one that wanted me to do that 40-day detox. He's the one that knew, even though I was going to be in this 3-bedroom cottage for over a year and a half, he knew that I was still going to be, instead of saying, oh gosh, my life's turned upside down, I'm going to put these goals on the back burner. I was so hyper focused and clear on what I wanted to do in that next 12 months in my long-term goals that a living arrangement, a living situation, rebuilding a house, none of that was going to stop me. I'd been consistently reading my Bible in my sauna every morning with my morning routine, that I was so close and had such a close relationship with him that I just put my trust in him. And everyone said to me during that time, like, oh, maybe you're just like in a little bit state of shock and you're going to have your breakdown or you're going to have your time, which is totally fine, by the way. It's going to hit you soon, and just let yourself feel that, let yourself go through it. And I never still I never had a breakdown. There was at last month, I'm just kind of over like as the year has gone on, we've accumulated more clothes and more things. And we have no place to put it because we're all crammed into a 3-bedroom cottage. But so the clutter is not helping my ADHD. But that's the only thing that it's not like I've hit a breaking point because of the fire. It's just like, okay, I'm ready to move in now, God. Let's make it happen. And just this week, we learned that we're moving in a couple days earlier. So there's the bonus. So here's the thing. That is when you have a lucky girl mindset and you're starting your day and ending your day with gratitude and you're focusing on all the little things that has God's little winks every single day. And you have the mindset that life is happening for you, not to you. And you set every single day with that mindset and belief, and you're paying more attention to the little things, and you're activating your RAS to work for you, not against you. And you're noticing that every missed opportunity is exactly the way it should have worked out, and that it was working for you, and that was meant to be, and that you believe that God will overcompensate you for all the things the messes in your life. He will turn it around. God will turn it around. You need to give the control to God. Give it to God. If you start believing in that and developing the lucky girl mindset, dang, I'm telling you what, you will transform your life, because that's the way it should be. We should be showing up every single day with that mindset, because when you don't do this, you guys, it's only hurting yourself, truly. So I will end it there. And I love these solo episodes. They're so much fun for me. Why don't you guys shoot me a DM at Obsessed or Not Interested or at Mindy Wonder on Instagram? What other topics do you want me to cover? I was thinking about doing like a 21-day series because there's something that is in the works for me that I'm creating that would be something that you only do once or twice a year. I can't say too much because it's in the works. See, more goals. More goals were set, but it was because of my mentorship programs my packages and the women that I mentor. This would be a way for somebody who maybe doesn't want to invest in the one-on-one mentorship package or something like that, but they kind of still want to get walked through the whole process of a 3 to 6 month mentorship. That's what this thing that I'm creating would be. I'm kind of thinking maybe we should do like a 21-day series on how to kind of help you, like just little short episodes. I might do that over on my YouTube. But anyways, you guys let me know what you think, what episodes you want to hear more of, all that kind of stuff. And I will talk to you next week. Seriously, thank you so much for listening to this episode of Obsessed or Not Interested podcast. I love connecting with you on social media. So if you guys want, please shoot me a DM at either our podcast Instagram, which is at Obsessed or Not Interested, or even my personal Instagram, which is at Mindy Wender. I check them both, so either is fine. Oh, and truly, if this has helped you even 1%, if you could do me a huge solid and leave me a rating and review, that would mean the world to me. When you guys do that, here's why I really love it. It's because it helps the podcast be able to reach more women who want and need this. So truly, that is like the best compliment you could ever give me, is just leaving ratings and reviews for this podcast. Anything that I talked about in today's episode, any links or resources, you will find that in the show notes. Thank you for listening to today. Can't wait to chat more in the DMs, and don't forget to tune in next Tuesday.